Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventures in Thrifting and Reselling with me, Bad Dog, on his own. Well, I got my little guy here, but he didn't go thrifting with me. But hi, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday night live hall pass from 2DogsDigs. And as I said with last week, we're starting our new sort of mix up all sorts of different things show, and so that's exactly what we're going to do today. But today the adventures of thrifting and reselling are by myself because grumpy little good dog didn't want to do it. He actually told me last night, I don't want to go. And I was like, but you haven't slept, you don't know if you'd want to go. He goes, I don't want to go. And now he didn't want to go. So I went by myself today. No, I'm just, I just having an affected voice. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. My Brenda Vaccaro voice, for those of you old enough to know who she is. No, here's my regular voice. So a big hello to everybody who's joined us here, or joining me here. Hey, Janet is here. Jennifer, hello. Lisa, Susan, hello. Shanna from Toronto area too, yay. Mr. Paul, Elisa, Mr. Greg, Heather, and Bob. I always say that like that way. Carl, the lazy reseller of Tamara, who will be happy to. We're going to check in on our max sold, and Tamara's got some stuff in there for sure for her to look at. Michael's here. Oops, Michael's here. Who else do we got? Hey, D Smith from Sarnia. Thanks for popping in to see us. Oh, he's decided to join us on his phone, I guess. He's doing taxes right now. So, no, he can't. Well, he can. He actually he did say no. He did veto something from me. So, yeah, I know. You think you can't veto from afar? I guess I shouldn't have asked. It probably would have been the best way for me to do it, is not to ask. But I did decide I thought I'd ask. So I'll show you something I got. Oh, Bob is hiding in the background. Hey, Miriam. So I went by myself today. I went out to a few thrift stores and did a little bit. I don't know whether it was because it was me on my own. And really, 50% of the stuff we've been getting, I guess, was his on decision days. But I didn't buy that much today. I didn't find a lot today. And I went to 3 different thrift stores today, and I didn't find that much today. So, yes, all by myself. Don't want to thrift. Well, some days I do want to thrift all by myself. So I thought I'd start out the show with a couple of little fun things that happened over the past week. One, if you remember, I mentioned about selling stuff on eBay.com. And I talked about a chess game. And the chess game was something that I had listed on .com, didn't sell last year for about 6 months. Then I moved it over to .ca, and I didn't sell it for like 5 months. And in January, I got somebody from Germany, because our .com listings only allow us to ship to the US and within Canada. That's all I've got it set up for. And this person asked from Germany, will you ship it to Germany? And I said, well, yes, but I've got to move it from .com to .ca. And he said, that's okay. So I literally took the item. It was about 65 US, 90 Canadian. And I moved it. I ended it on .com. I used Crosslist Magic, the Wonder Tool. I launched it on .ca. That's how I'm doing my other back and forth now. And I was able to say, here you go. And because of eBay EIS, eBay International Shipping, he could purchase it. And all I did was send him, here's the new item number. He went onto eBay, found it, bought it, paid EIS. Because it's Germany, there's a thing there that you have to have now called Lucid. Lucid, it's like a strange kind of dream. No, Lucid is a form you have to fill out, which EIS does for you to allow items to come into the market. So they filled it anyway. It arrived and we got feedback, but I just thought I'd show you the feedback because I found this, I thought was just interesting, because this is how the feedback showed up for us. Richter Architectural Funktionale Gelehrte, danke, gern wieder. It showed up in German. And I did translate it, and basically it says, "It functions good. Thank you." But I thought it was just interesting to actually see. I have no idea because everything we had talked about was actually in English, so it was interesting to see a German feedback coming on to us. So that was really nice, and it's not somebody who didn't actually have a ton of feedback either. They only had it 76, and then after that, you know how AI is and everything. So I get this message from somebody asking a question about some Pokemon stickers that we have. And I go, oh, I've got to go answer the question. Now, see, there's a rule in our house that somebody keeps forgetting to follow. He's not here, so well, I guess he can hear me. He'll hear me. He'll hear me. Rick is not supposed to answer any of the questions that people put in because I never know when he's going to answer the questions. And so the agreement is I'm supposed to look at the questions and answer them because 90% of the time, I'm the person that actually had to do all the research and all that sort of stuff on it. And a couple of times he's actually answered something. So he's not supposed to answer something because what happened a few times a year and a half ago was he would answer the question and then he didn't tell me and I didn't look and I just saw it as a question and I answered the question. And in a couple of times we answered differently. I can't remember what they exactly were. They weren't like critical things. And actually, I don't think the people bought them at the end of the day. So, I mean, so he's not supposed to answer the questions. And then AI is out there now. So I saw this and I actually had to ask Rick because there was somebody who had this question that came in and it came up and it said, hello. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Oh, over here. Hold on. Hello. How do I get to my message? Here. There we go. Hello. Are those real stickers you put on plastic? And I saw this AI response. We are trying to understand your question. We are thinking you're asking if these questions are peel and stick. These stickers are glossy and heavier stock. There is a wax paper backing that you can peel off to expose the adhesive. We can confirm they all adhere to plastic. Let us know if you have any other questions. Sounds pretty AI, doesn't it? It wasn't. It was Rick's response. Yes, Rick decided to respond with, you tell me if that's not, we are trying to understand your question. We think you're asking if these are peel and stick. It's like, I'm sorry. It just sounded so AI. And it's just like, my question would, like, my answer to it, are those real stickers you can put on plastic? Yes. That's all you need to answer. Not the stickers are glossy and heavier stock and there's wax paper. But I laughed because I said, look, AI is now happening on eBay to answer questions. And he actually, sorry, it's going a little blurry here. I don't know why. There we go. Come on, get into focus. Why am I not in focus? Yeah, but do this. Hand, bring the hand back. Talk to the hand. I guess I don't know. Seem a little bit out of focus there. It's not, I know it's not me because normally I can see everything in the background. So there we go. Now I'm in focus. I didn't know. Sorry about that. But yes, it did. See, Lisa says it sounded AI. Robo Rick. Rick is AI. Yeah, seriously. Yes, I see that is happening. I can no longer answer. No. AI answering questions would be an absolute nightmare. That's so true. But yeah, but I actually, he went, oh, it's his government background. He had a legal and government background in there. So that's actually why it said that. So I thought I'd also start off with showing you, if you remember last week, I show you what I do with something. So this is something that we found. If you remember last week, I found all these little people. And I found this bag of furniture. There was actually 2 bags of furniture down here. There were these 2 bags of people. There was another 5 or 6 or 7 bags of like little cars and all sorts of stuff like that. So I thought I'd show you what we're going to do with them. So I spent about 3 hours taking apart all the bags. And this is what I've actually done with all of the baggies. These are all going to our antique mall first and foremost. But I took little Ziploc bags that I get from the dollar store, cardboard that I actually bought a stack of it for like $2 at the Value Village. Used a paper slicer, which I also bought from the Value Village, and we cut these up and staple them on here. And then I'm going to put a little price tag sitting across here so they can go into our unit. This is just the cars. This entire tub is all the cars and a couple of other things in there. So I did look them up and found that things like the mail, these guys can easily sell for $5, $5 to $8. So every one of these things in here, and I don't even know how many we got in there, probably 30 or so. They're all going up. Now that entire lot cost me, I think we figured it out, the entire lot cost with the 30% off about $60 Canadian maybe. So that's that. But that's not all. This is more of them. Now, what this one is filled with the stuff that's probably going to be priced at $5. This one is filled with the stuff that's going to be priced between $8 and $15. So I did things like, I had so many mail things that I actually put mailman in with them. So somebody can buy a mail truck on its own for $5, or they can buy a mail truck with a mailman, and I'll probably price this at $12. I had this, which is the entire family from the Fisher-Price Castle. This bag alone is going to be going up there for $75. So this bag on its own will sell for the amount that I paid for everything in here. I have people that are going to go. There's, I think, 30 or people in here that's going to go for like $45. I put things, so like a teacher's desk with their chairs. So it took me a little time. There's this little guy. Now, as you can see, I haven't got around to, or this, I got extra prints. He's like $12 for just the prints. So really butch little, he's not a, I can't remember. He's not the ringmaster. He's not the groom. He's the ringmaster. I thought he was a groom with a big bear mustache. Ooh, from the hospital. I had another little prince, but I put him in a crown. So but the one thing that has to be done on these is these still need to have this put on the top of them. So a magic thing is going to happen. A hand is going to reach in. There's the hands, and that's what he's going to do now. He's actually going to take those downstairs while I'm working on these. And remember, keep that box separate from this box. Thank you, dear.
Well, that will be easy because
they're in separate boxes.
The cardboard on.
I know, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
So I probably am going to be pricing them all completely in the neighborhood of at least, I think there'll be $300 to $400 worth of stuff. He says, yes, I will. I will let you know how they go. We're going up in the next day or two to drop all these off. So I'll take a picture of how we set them up in there too. So let's see. I just saw a couple of things I want to just go back to. Elisa made the comment. She spent 3 days volunteering to set up a massive local private school indoor garage sale. Found some amazing stuff. Oh, good for you. So you get to help with that. Let's see. Tina's working her way to a reseller event in Omaha. I guess she's shopping. She works her way to herself. I don't know where the David Hasselhoff thing came from, Michael. I don't. No clue. Did I say something about that? Long live the Hoff. I have no clue about what that is for. So yeah. Sometimes I don't get a chance to read the comments. Like Rick that's the one thing he's supposed to do when he's doing it. Someone just asked, where did you get the item? Told Bob to ask. Why do you need to know? I don't know what you're asking about. Sorry, Rick hasn't. No, he's it's not caffeinated. That is a ton of little people, yeah. Carl said that is a good idea, stickers. And that's what it takes a little bit extra time, but it stops the plastic baggies from having those things peel off them. That's the reason that we did them. Oh, Lisa bought more Barbie clothes. Oh, I have so much downstairs in my organization. It's been ridiculous. Yes, I think that's what I thought. And I'll show you actually where I did everything from, because this is actually the be all and end all if you are looking at anything to do with Fisher Price. There is a site called This Old Toy. And This Old Toy tells you everything you need to know about Fisher Price. So you can just search This Old Toy. They actually have other stuff in there, but this is where you got all the information that you need to have on this. So let me see if I can get myself back to the beginning on this. See, little people. So there we go. See the list of all things. So it's got everything in here. I'll see if I can make this a little bigger for you. So you can see everything in here, and you can search when you've got something from what it actually is. Like this is like really great. It's like I found something that's a lamppost. Well, here's the lamppost, and it only came with the Fisher Price Sesame Street set. I found something like some of the stuff that I found in there was like, oh, there's a student desk. Okay, the student desks. It even tells you if you want to go this deep into it for research is like the color of something. And this one came out from 1971 to 1978. But for example, there was something else I was looking at, and I can't remember exactly which one it is now. Might have been a lounge chair. And it's like, this is from the pop-up camper 80 to 84. This one is from the swimming pool. So if you have an orange one, it's from the swimming pool. If you have a green one, it's from the pop-up camper. If you have a white one, it's from the A-frame house. And if you have a yellow one, it's from a swimming pool. So you can see how detailed this is. And so the great thing about this is it allows you to then potentially take a look quickly at eBay and see in those specific items. You go to product research, which will give you 3 years worth of sales, and you could look up Fisher Price A-frame lounge and see if they're like how much they go for. So that's what I did with everything. And I decided there was nothing that was a lot of stuff. I may have in the Fisher Price world what's considered a whoopsie or a whoops, WHOOPS, which is when something's wrong with it, how it was built. Basically a factory flaw. So I saw one person had a factory flaw where you really need to know your Fisher Price though. It was like a teacher, which is a bigger little people figure, wooden, so the wooden base, plastic head of a girl's face with the woman's hair. Now, I wouldn't have known the difference between a like woman's face and a girl's face till I looked at this, but there are people who collect those and they can be worth a lot more. So Dee says have about 100 in box Hot Wheels, not basic cars. 10. Well, that's just it, Dee. This is the idea is I could list a lot of these things on eBay or on Etsy. In fact, if you look on Etsy, there's lots of people who are listing little people. Let me just show you, just to give you an idea. So I'm going to bring this over now. So there's a lot of people who are listing things on Etsy. Now, the challenge is when you type little people on Etsy, you get a combination. You get the little people that are newer, and then you sometimes find the little people that are older. But here's an example. Now, when you see something like this, you'll see this says Fisher Price Vintage Little People, $8. Well, it's not one. The way people have listed that is they have put an option. So you get to pick which one you want, and you can see the pricing on it. So somebody's listed those for $8 a piece. But what was interesting when I found a couple of others in here, which was, let's see if I can find them. This person, I think, might be the one I found. Look at all these that they've sold out. So you can't even figure out the price on them. So this person did them and then did pictures of them like this. There's a lot of work that goes into that, though, for a $4 figure. So I'm not going there to do that. But then this is what ended up happening. You can see, out of everything they have there, everything sold out. So they sold all these for $5. So might be an option later on, but it's something that's just, it takes a lot more work if you want to do something like that. Sort of like we did with the thread. It might be worth my while, but we're going to try it first and foremost up at the unit to see how it goes up there. So let me just get rid of those. I did start out with some fun today. Well, this is me. I found myself in I found a mask. Where's the other picture gone of that? Oh, here it is. This is where I found it on the shelf. And look, it's a little mask. It was $5.99. So I had to put it on. That's me selfieing myself with the mask. I know it's kind of bad because the thing is, every time I see stupid masks like this, I put them on. In most cases, they're fine. I do look before I put it on my head. But there are 1 or 2 times. I also forget half the time to take my glasses off. But I'll take my glasses off. And this is how stupid I could be. I'll take my glasses off before I look inside the mask. Put the mask on my head and then feel something crunchy. So I'm trying to learn that I have to look inside the masks first. Make sure it's clean and clear before I take this off and put it on. This particular one, I did that the right way around. But in the past, I'm just saying. That mask will sell. That mask will sell. I didn't buy it. I know it's only $5. It actually just smelled like foam. So it didn't. No. It didn't do it. It didn't smell at all. So I wasn't worried about it. But I did. Unfortunately, I just started letting you know. I had to have some fun by myself because I was all by myself. So when I'm all by myself, what else am I supposed to do? But go and try and have some fun by myself. I also found this one thing today, which is, I'm not going to do this in the thrift store because I just thought this was weird. And I tried looking it up and I couldn't figure out what it was. And again, Rick wasn't there to ask. I wasn't going to send him a message on it. But it was this thing at the end of a shelf unit. And it was really bizarre. It was spectacular macro world. The world is yours to discover, even at the finest macro lens. I don't know if it was for something specifically because there was this cord that was there. I tried looking specifically on Spectacular Macro World. I got nothing. But it was kind of cute. I mean, it had turn on the camera. Well, there was no camera with it. Focus on the object and take a photo. And they're not real butterflies. I mean, they're plastic body butterflies. But it just looked kind of cute. And I saw a woman literally grab it right after I took this picture. There's another picture of it from the side. It's just weird. It was one of those things that's like, I was like, it was $9.99, so it would have been $7, $8.50 Canadian with tax, $6 American. Would you have bought something like that? Would anybody? I don't know. I was trying to figure out where the heck I would sell it. That was part of the challenge too. I was thinking, what? I mean, it's not a normal thing to have. So if you can't find it anywhere, it becomes the thing is like, oh, I think throw. Nope. Well, it's good to know you guys all would have noped. I don't know, Rick. You weren't there. But again, I like finding interesting stuff. And to me, that was something interesting that I saw today. And I picked it up, put it in my cart, took it out of my cart, decided I don't know what I want. I don't need to bring this home. So I didn't bring it home. Next, I'm going to do a little thing, which is just show you something I found on the baggy wall. Because it's not a baggy wall haul, but when I was there, I did find this baggie. So a little baggie. Now, when I saw it, the first thing that interested me is I could see, like, just hanging on the wall, I could see like a couple of these plastic figures. Now, in general, they can be worth something. They may not be worth anything. If they're marked on the bottom, marks with the MARX logo, they could be worth some money. And then I saw you could see there's a baseball guy in there who's missing an arm, but there's no markings. I could see easily on the bottom of him. But as I turned it over, this is what I saw, which made me pick it up. Because it's $3.99. I mean, I could have picked it up anyway. But this is what I saw. I don't know if you can see her. Do you see that little girl there? The little girl in the bikini standing beside the gas pump? Well, let me show you a closer close-up of what she is. This is a thing called Homies. I'm trying to figure out where I could go so you can see it. These are Homies. Now, I think I might have talked about these once or twice before. I think that Carl may know, hey, Trista, what this is, or may have seen these before. But basically, they are, I guess the only way I can describe it is they're thugs and ghetto, HOMIES, homies. I don't know what else. So, but they're all little, like, people, and there actually are a couple inside here. And surprisingly, they all look like they are going to appear soon on an episode of Judge Judy. And this one is going to accuse this one of stealing something from her school bag. Pool cue guy. So I saw these, but this is why I bought them, for these silly little homies. I don't know what the other things are inside of here. I'll have to take a closer look. There's a body from somebody. But it was really weird because literally about a day or two later, I bought these last week, actually. A day or two, I didn't get to them last week. A day or two later, I found this bag sitting in one of my boxes downstairs when I'm sorting it, filled with homies that I had ready. Like, this is I even wrote it. It's a homies cheerleader keyring. Homies clowns. And in January, we actually sold, I found, well, here's actually the interesting thing. If you haven't heard of them before, yeah, they are. They're gumball machine figures. Yep. Long time since you've seen a homie. There are 20,000 results on eBay right now for lives. And here's a better look at some of them, the way they came out in the actual 98 viewed today. 98 people have viewed this item today. And again, I'm sure many people have not even heard of this before. Look at that. There's different figures, homies. And this is series 15. So there's a ton of series of these out there. So as I said, so there are 20,000 results there. It's so big that they actually have characters. Like, there are 1,081 clowns, homie clowns. And look at it, homie little Joker, super rare chaser, $99. So I bet you, again, this is one of those things I like to show people that you probably would look at. There's 346. I think those are just clowns. 346 clowns that have sold. 5,000 homies have sold. Why is it so entertaining to hear me say homie, homie, homies? It's like white. Yeah, it's not quite like white chicks, but 5,000 of these have sold. So you can tell they got a really good sell through on them. And take a look. I don't know if you remember. I think I did show you guys. I did sell a couple of these about a year and a half ago. They were homies remote controls, and we sold them for a few $100s. It's a mix of stuff in there, but you can see $700 for 12 figures. So again, this is the kind of thing. 240 of them, $550. So got to do some work on this. I got to figure out what it is. I haven't actually looked to see if there's a proper Homies website or not, but something that I'm going to have to do. But even alone, if I put these guys alone, I could probably get like $10 a piece for them. They're probably going to go up to our unit. I might do that too with something, just because. How can I ID them? So when you're if you ever want to see them in a store or anything like that, they basically, I don't know how else to say it. They basically look like they're from the Lower East Side kind of thing. They're like plastic figures that look like, or the clowns all look like, I don't know if you've ever heard of juggalos. They all kind of look like that. So they look like Homie Don't Play It. I don't know how else to describe them without being really terrible about it. So they have a certain look. I know, Carl, how do I say it? I just don't know. Urban. Yes, they're urban characters. But again, I just picked that up because of this, and I could see what I actually didn't even see any of these guys in it. What got me on it was seeing like a couple of the girls, because you could easily recognize the girls in this. I'll figure out what else is in that little lot. There's one of those baseball guys. Wilton. So Wilton is actually, that means that this is a cake topper. So these guys are cake toppers. So not much. 1981 cake toppers. What's that one? And then there's like a crappy looking wren. So again, some fun stuff that I found when I was out. But now it's time to thrift with me. Actually, trailer trash would be a good idea. Yes, that's actually a very good way to say it. Trailer trash, trailer park. But now it's time to thrift with me. And I'll show you some of the stuff that I did find today, because I didn't find that stuff. But I didn't find much today. And I don't know whether you would have bought this stuff today or not, but this is the stuff that I bought. Number one, you people are probably going to think I'm crazy, but I talk about Kurok all the time. So here's the back of the symbols. You can see that. Oops, upside down. You can see Kurok. Kurok, I talked about some Kurok glasses, but they also make trays. This is actually a Kurok tray. And it's like shells and all sorts of stuff like that. And it's a really plastic melamine kind of piece. They make all sorts of different kinds of images. And if I do, let me just see if I can pop that in here. Oh, I forgot. I meant to show you. This is something I found before Christmas that we sold. Homies. I found a belt buckle at a little Salvation Army for $5, and we sold it for $50 US, $50 Canadian in less than a week. But let me go into here and search Kurok. And you'll see Kurok Tray of Monterey, 2,700 items in there. So all sorts of different things like this. You can see all these different kinds. Now, they've got a real sort of mid-century modern. They aren't necessarily, in a lot of cases, really expensive. If you recall, I had those Kurok glasses that match the Cypress tray. If we go to solds, again, because we always like to look at solds, 630. We go to highest in 630. You'll see that some pieces can go for okay money. Like look at those birds, atomic birds, makes a lot of sense. So I found this one, which I just loved, and it was $4.99. So I had to pick it up, and it's a turtle, and I thought it was really cute. Now, this is actually one of the things that most people wouldn't have done. I picked this up, even though you can see it has a bad chip right there. So let's see if we get that side. You can see it's got a bad chip in it. Now, some people say I will not buy they won't buy anything that's broken or busted or anything. The surprising thing that I want to let people remember, or try and make people remember, is somebody who's a Kurok collector, they may not have, just like a Barbie collector, a G.I. Joe collector, a Pokemon collector, anything like that. There's different grades as you move up. Pyrex, you name it. There's different gradings on things. So sometimes people need something to start with. They may have something that they really want, but I believe the turtle tray that I had seen sold was selling in the 85 to $100 US mark when I looked it up. And so, see if I can find one. Of course, it'll prove me wrong now. I'm trying to find it. No sold. So here we go. So these are the three that are listed right now: 70, 85, 75, all with big, huge delivery numbers, $50 on them. But those are the three that they have. So what I do is I look at something like this, and again, got this on a 30% off, so it basically cost me $4. Is I'm going to list this one probably in the neighborhood of about $40. It's really easy to ship. It's nice and flat. It's practically indestructible, except for, of course, this. And somebody who's a collector may not have $85 that they want to pay for that, but they may pay a little bit less. So keep that in mind. We have sold probably, I'd say, twice a year. We sell something that's $100 plus item, or a $200 plus item that we've got that has a chip in it, that has an arm that's been re-glued or something along those lines, and people buy them at $40, and we've only paid $5, $3, $4 for them. So there's still a good market for you to make money on, but it needs to be something that has a better value if it's in better shape. So if those turtle trays sold for $20, that wouldn't make sense. No one's going to want to buy mine for 10 if they can buy a nice one for 20. But because they're listed for 80, and I'd seen them sell for 100, it makes sense to give it a different kind of look at how you might do it. So that's one of the things that I found on my Thrift With Me. Two, something else that you may or may not have decided to look at. But again, this is why I look at all sorts of stuff like this. This was up on a shelf. It was up at the section where all the pictures are up on the wall. And I forgot to upload the picture, but this is what it was. And I saw these. I got to take a look at these. What they are is somebody, I don't know who, $4.99. Somebody did a bunch of posters from various shows, and they haven't been able, I just opening it up now, and then they either printed them on photography paper and stuck them to their wall. Stuck it, I got it, there we go. There you go. So this is a couple of things that people did. Now, is there a market for these on eBay? No, not at all. But I thought there might be a market for these kind of things where at our antique mall booth. We've sold a lot of different kinds of things that are flats like this. Again, they're printed on a really nice paper. So this is what they, $4.99. So I paid $3, and in this pack I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's some really interesting posters here. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a neat one. 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 posters there for $3. And how many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Different groups too. I don't know where these were from. 5, 6. They look like they might have been on a wall at a bar or something like that. 7, 8. Really funky 70s posters. 9, 10, and 11, 12. I think these are really cool. So 12, did I say 12 and 12? So 24 posters for $6, so 50 cents a piece. I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them up at our unit for $8 a piece and see what happens. If I sell one of these for $8, even if I get charged by 15% that they charge up there, the 12%, I will pay for all of these. So if I got 12 and 12 is 24, $200. Yeah, it looks like somebody's dorm room, doesn't it? From the 70s. And yeah, they are such cool, so many cool posters. And the nice thing is there's so many different ones that, like, somebody you might want the Jimi Hendrix experience may not care about anything else, but I'm sure I'll find somebody who loves Heart. So, and again, there's no stickers or anything on the back. They just look like that clear. They just got that damn sticky stuff between them. So I got to get rid of that. And this is interesting. Fillmore East. So that's something I bought for me to sell up at our unit. And then next, I don't know if I got a picture of this one or not. I got to double check a look. Oh, I went by a section that had a whole bunch of dolls on the ground, like in this one part of the store. Let's see if I can find a picture of it, because I like to show you the pictures. And then I go to here, or I go in here. I think I uploaded it. We'll see if I did or not. Working, of course, it's working on it now. 2026 shows, today's show. And, oh, here it is. Good, I found it. So at the bottom of a shelf, this one Value Village that I go to used to have their dolls in bags, and they gave up. They just started literally throwing them on the bottom shelf. This was how they were in the store, thrown on the bottom shelf, just like that. And they don't care about a thing about the condition. They don't, like, if a doll came in with shoes, I don't know what they would do. They just throw them. Well, this is what ended up happening. I take a look down, and because I happen to be a Barbie person, I see this top. And I could see from that top, I thought, that is the top for Totally Hair Barbie. I just happened to know that. And Totally Hair Barbie is actually a really good find, even loose. It's Barbie who had her hair all the way down past her ass down to the back of her legs. So I reached down to look at it. And as I get it closer to me, I realized it wasn't a Totally Hair Barbie, but it was actually a vintage Barbie. This is actually I think this might be the Totally Hair mini dress, but you can tell. I always say, look, you can see real lashes. So as soon as I turned the head, I looked at the head and I went, that's not totally, that's a real vintage. It's a mod era Barbie. And then you can see as you move her, she's a walk lively. She's actually walk lively Barbie. Her legs actually still click and bend and hold and click. I think these panties or these hose may belong to Gem. It might be a Barbie one, but it may belong to Gem. But yeah, so $6.99. So I paid $5 for her. A Walk Lively Barbie in this shape is probably going to be $40, $50. So all their eyes are a little creepy. So is this, the Megalips. So a couple of fun finds. Again, just something interesting for me. Let's go and do some thrift it or throw it. Thrift it or throw it. I had to do a lot of these thrift it or throw it by myself. So number one, Go Sports. In the collectible section, they had these set of plates. Well, they're not really plates. I guess they're sort of souvenir plates. There were 6 of these. They are, that happens to be the Leafs one. The original 6 is what they're known as. They are here. They are Dominion China 1996 limited edition, first issue in the original 6. I don't know for the they are Bradford Exchange 1996. So there were 6 of these, $14.99 each. They all had their own little original frames on them. So what would you do with something like that? Yay. No, I think that's for throw it. Throw it. Throw it. Go Sports. No Sports. Throw it. Smashy, smashy. I like that name. Tina says throw. So everybody on Trista says throw. Paul is throw. So we got a smashy smash and a throw. Jennifer's throw. Okay, this is like a no sports, not Go Sports. No sports. What did I do with them? No sports. I did look them up. Interestingly enough, they actually sell, but they sell for about that price. They sell for like $10 to $15, $20. I found that most of the time when I Google search them, or Carl search them as we call it here on 2DogsDigs, our Carl search showing up in Facebook groups. So they aren't there anymore. Actually, they weren't there by the end of my walk around. they were gone. So interestingly enough, so there's a thrift. Oh no, these were there last week, but they weren't there this week. So that means somebody bought them. That's interesting. Next, thrift and a throw. I never know how to pronounce these things. Karopi, full service. It's full service Karopi. I don't know what it is. It is a bank, as you can see. There we go. And it is made by Sanrio. So it's actually made in Japan. It's always tough with Sanrio to date the real dates because, like other toys, they are dated with copyright dates. So you don't actually, like, just because this says 1988, 1996 does not mean this is from 1996. This is from the 2000s easily. Okay, Elisa says Kawaii Frog, throw. Tina says thrift. Okay, Andrew says throw, probably. Janet says throw. I think the target practice was for the original 6. Paul says no idea. Well, that's part of the fun of the thrifter to throw. That's why I like having this. Tamara says throw. So what did we do with it? What did I do with this? I bought it, actually. There's the name. That's on the back. Karopi. So let me just show you this. Heather says throw, but look it up. Lisa says throw. So this is a Karopi bank. So there's how you spell it. K-E-R. So let me just pop onto here so I can show you what I'm looking at. So K-E. I can't have one finger spelling. I don't know. Trista said thrift. Not sure when she said what exactly she said that, but let me see. K-E-R-O-P-P-I bank. So let's take a look at a Karopi bank. And there's 78 things up there. And let's take a look at what some of the prices of Karopi are. Now, I know I've got this right now, highest. So there are lower prices on all these things, right? So you can see, but let's go to solds because this is what's more important. 11 solds, $45, $66. Now, if you saw, that's just it. That's what I want you to keep in mind. Would you think this piggy bank, Sanrio 88, 97, it's got a chip in it. Like there's a chip to the back of it. It's sold. They didn't even clean it. This looks dirty. Oh, that would drive Rick crazy. Look at how dirty that looks. Or this has got flaws all over the place. Let's see what else we got here. Why, look, there it is. $28 US, full service, 1996-10. And that was actually in Canada that somebody sold that for $28 US. So, I mean, it's not something that's got big money behind it, but I bought it for 2 reasons. The one reason was to show you about, again, Bandai and names. So even though you may not recognize who that is, it's still something that you should consider. So this ended up $4.99, cost me $3. One has sold. It's a gas can bank. So let me just see if I can look up whether there's any that aren't sold right now. Listing, there are 2. Well, let's look at that. There's 2 listed, and the people who are listing them at $35 and $75. So I haven't checked on Etsy, but this will probably go onto Etsy. But again, thrift or throw, always look at Bandai, even for characters you have no clue who they are. I don't know if they'll sell on, Susan, I don't know if they'll sell on Etsy or not. I can do a quick look over here. Let me just quickly go to Etsy. And I'll go on to Etsy and let me just put in Karopi. I know actually a lot of Asian stuff does sell really well there, and kawaii stuff. So there's surprisingly, look at all this. Look at all the different karopi things there are in here. Plush, $50 for a thermos, $71 for a comb, $29 for a light. You never know. $28 for that. So we'll see. $97 for 2 mugs. So again, it's worth a shot to try and take a look and see whether or not it's something that might make you money, especially again, because it's Bandai. So I want you to take a look. Here's a weird one. Solo cups. So these are boxes, unopened boxes of Solo paper soufflés. I didn't know what a paper soufflé is. Do you know what a paper soufflé? Basically, it's a pill cup. And they are, I don't know if I got another picture. Yeah, here's a paper soufflés. $2.49 for 250. Made in the USA. It's always good nowadays for made in the USA because we don't have to have any duty on anything like that. And you can see there's the box of 5 boxes are there for basically $10. Ketchup, yeah, that's true. Ketchup holders, yeah. Thrift. I need why not buy it? I don't know. Thrift. I wouldn't look at it, but I'm guessing I should. Well, you never know. Paul says throw. Heather says throw. What did I do with it? I threw it. Now, surprisingly, though, it actually did have some. It did have some Solo paper souffle. Just so you can see, there's 27 of these listed on here, and some of the things are really, really high. But if you go into the solds, $39, $40. There's one of them there, $12.50 for 1 box. I just decided it wasn't enough of money to make because I would have had to have spent $10, and I would have had to try and bulk them all together. But a lot of $10 stuff. So again, they're gone. This is a thrifter throw that I saw 2 weeks ago. Last week when I went back, from the 5 of them, there were 2 left. And as of today, none left. You could probably buy at a restaurant supply. That's very true. Next is something that is always so tempting for me. When I find multiples of something. Oh my goodness. These are vintage mini cooler bags. They're Pepsi, KFC branded mini cooler bags. So you can see them there. That's them in the little packaging. So brand spanking new, but not big. I mean, mini. So like that's the size of them. So maybe 4 by 7 or so kind of thing. Brand new, 1990 was the date on them and there were 14 of these, $3.50 each. So it would end up being about $2.50 each Canadian, probably under $2 US a piece. Janet says thrift. Lisa says thrift. You know, I'm always there for like, oh, there's multiples. I love multiples. Andrew, I hate those things. Brand new thrift. Oh, I hate those things. Brand new thrift. My daughter, my sister, my daughter. Thrift. Thrift. What do you care? You weren't there. My in-laws have a thing for KFC. Would have grabbed them as gag gifts. Thrifts. Paul says throw. They were mass produced. What did I decide to do with them? I actually threw them. I didn't buy them. I had all 12 of them in my cart. There were 14, including 2 open ones. And the reason that we didn't buy them was to me, it's a long tail sale. So historically, a few years ago, we found something very close to this. They were a little bit bigger, foldable, KFC, Pepsi branded, actually, as well. Cooler bags. And we bought them for like 99 cents a piece. And I think we bought about 30 of them. They sold for about $10. So it could have made, I mean, we did on those 30, it sold for $10. So we made about 200 and some odd dollars on them over 10 years. It took so long for them to sell. There were a couple listed, including a couple listed from people in Canada. Might have found a couple of them. I did message Rick on this. And I said, what do you think? And he said, he reminded me about how long the last ones took. So it became his veto sort of number for the day from afar was me not getting these. Because it would have cost me, like for the 12 of them would have cost about $30. I thought about getting them and putting them at the antique mall. This is the weird thing is I tried some other stuff like that. I picked up some golf caps that came like a brand new golf cap and mugs that were at one of the thrift stores, and they were like $3.49, and I bought like 6 of them for $3.49 each, and I've got them at $15, and I can't sell the damn things. If I put them in max sold, I get $2 on them, so it's like a waste. So I know I didn't have to buy all that are there. I know Rick actually, in fact, quite cutely, at the exact same time, I texted Rick, should I pick up 3 or 4? And he texted me back, should you pick up 3 or 4? At the end of the day, that was the only thing in my cart at that particular store. So I decided, nah, not going to do it. Well, I did have one other thing in my cart, which I will show you, but we got so much big stuff. You bundle them and buy them and bundle them into a lot. I don't know whether someone would want that many. That's the only thing. Like somebody who might be a wholesaler, but at $3 a piece, I gotta get rid of them. I need to make $10. I don't think anybody's gonna buy 12 of them for $150 because they're not going to be able to resell them. But I do think about that. We do think about bundling stuff. But here's the last thing that we found that I was sort of a mutual pass up. It was hard for me to pass it up, but we bought so much big stuff lately, we didn't. This was a Elmo ST180 vintage 8mm sound projector. I looked at it. I tested it. It worked. It was $24.99. I think I got another picture of it. Do I? No, I don't have another picture of it. But it was in good shape. It's the challenge on this one is it was one, I think Rich said one of them sold that was untested for like $30. I did see 2 of them listed that sold for $200 and $400. I just didn't want to risk it on a big buy. So it was a $20, $25 item that I just thought I'm going to let somebody else risk on it. You never know. No one else may risk it, and it may still be there for us for next week. Then we'll have to find out. But what we will find out later this week we have our max sold, and we're going to actually do a live max sold closing. So we're going to show you how our max sold works. So if you've never watched a max sold close, you want any information, ask us anything about it. Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, we'll be showing you. This entire one is focused on toys. Part of the actual auction itself was some stuff that Tamara had consigned to us, which was a bunch of computer games and things like that. Here's the surprising thing. We're up for the auction. It starts in 48 hours. It ends at 8 o'clock at night in 48 hours. Oh my God, this is where we are already. We're at $1,200 in bids 2 full days before this auction has even ended. 2 days. Now, the interesting thing about it is, we have 154 lots, and in this auction, we got 81% sell-through. It has been at 79.8% sell-through for 5 days. So nobody's bidding on about 30 of the items. And I don't know why, but they're just not bidding on them. But here's some of the things that we've got, which are interesting. So this is tomorrow. So starts at 8:15. We'll be starting at 8 o'clock. There's tomorrow. That's yours. That's yours. $100, $90. I've got a Monster High lot in there. I bought this Geo system. It's the last one I have for $1. There's a Nightmare game. I have 5 of these downstairs. This is the second one we put in, $41. There's another one of tomorrow's games for $33. There's a Littlest Pet Shop for $31. Another Littlest Pet Shop for $28. An untested video game for $28. A Transformer for $25. So this is literally a mixture of all sorts of different stuff that we found in our mix of things. Even this, like I didn't know what to do with Lone Ranger and Tonto. We got $11 on that. There's a box only for Act Razor for $11. There's some clay. Oh, Rick is going to laugh at this. He wanted me to toss this. We put both things in there, 2 lots of Fimo clay, $11 each lot. $11 for the Sailor Moon. So this is going to be our live close. Again, it'll start at 8 o'clock for 15 minutes. We'll answer any questions. I'll put a post on the craft group, but I'll post on YouTube again. And then we'll see what that gets to. Oh, Heather's already guessing. Yeah, we will send out a link. We'll post the link. And it'll be both on YouTube. So if you got YouTube notices, you'll get that. And if you're in the craft group, Canadian Resellers and Fantastic Thrifters, we'll show you there. Last but not least, I had to show you something that was just so disappointing. I wanted this so bad, but they didn't have it in my size. Couldn't find a signed, but I did find. I was so upset. There was a Princess Shoes and Tiara set, but it was missing the tiara. So I couldn't get it. There's no sense in getting shoes without a tiara. You need to have them both. You can't just have the shoes or just have the tiara. You need to have that both if you're going to be a princess like me. So thank you so much for joining me here for a silly, all by myself, adventures in thrifting and reselling. You never know. Next Tuesday, we might get Rick out again. Who knows what, depending on what his mood is. But you can come back and join me anyway. Thank you so much for having a bit of fun with us here on Tuesday night. Hopefully you found a couple of things you might not have heard of before or thought about, like a karopi or a homie. So look for those little plastic trailer trash people, because you never know what you're going to find at the thrift stores. Have a great week. We will see those of you who do tune in on Thursday night. Otherwise, we'll see you guys all next Tuesday. Bye. Woof.